Welcome back to the Football Fitness Federation podcast. This is episode 366. I've got a hell of a lineup on the episode today because ahead of our trip over to FC Utrecht, I pulled together the Avengers. So we've got Baz, Yanni, and we've got Rainer on the podcast. So lads, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Like I said, we'll do a little preview of the event, but also the listeners can learn a little bit more about you. I know Rainer and Baz have been on the podcast before. Yanni, it's a first appearance, so I'm going to start with yourself, mate. Can you give us a little bit of background on yourself to start things off?
Yeah, sure. So, obviously I joined FC Utrecht, and if we work a bit backwards, I joined FC Utrecht now in the summer to cooperate then with Rainer together for the first team. So actually, my career started with the bachelor at the German Sports University in Cologne, where then throughout this time did an internship at Werder Bremen in Germany, came back, finished my bachelor, went to Saarbrücken in middle South Germany, studied my master there, went to Benfica Academy, Benfica Lisbon Academy, worked there then for a few weeks until COVID. Went back and finished my master, and from there I was lucky to join the first team of KS Eupen, so my hometown team, which by then they were playing in the first division in Belgium. So I was lucky enough to start there my career in professional football as performance coach, with cooperation with Aspire Academy in Qatar. They own the club. So I was fortunate to work there for 3 years then, straight through. And then when we were relegated, unfortunately, in the third year, I moved after a call from a coach to Dender, a club which was owned by an Indonesian investor. They were putting a lot of money in there. It was a good working environment for all of us. So I went there with the coach, worked there for 1 year until then the call by Rainer came, and we talked to each other a few times already a year ago. And now we made it happen that I can join FC Utrecht, and so that's a bit the pathway of mine.
Biggest incoming transfer last summer, I guess.
Oh, we heard about it. It's
not so expensive as a player, but
we'll get in a little bit. We'll dive into obviously how you guys work together, and how your sort of paths cross within the club. But we'll just go individually to start with. So, Rana, do you want to give a look? I know you've done it before on the podcast. Do you want to give a little bit of background on yourself?
Yeah. So my journey is maybe not as impressive as Yanni is with the number of clubs, but no, I started off studying to become a PE teacher first, but got to know quite fast that that was not where I wanted to go. So always interested in football. Started doing human movement sciences, my bachelor in Belgium at the Catholic University of Leuven. Also obtained my coaching degree over there, the UEFA B license. And then I was on a crossroad whether I was going back to the Netherlands or stay in Belgium. And in the end, I chose to stay in Belgium, also to do my master's over there. Could do a professional internship at ADO Den Haag, who was then at the time competing in the Eredivisie still. It was the 2015-2016 season, I guess. Also did my UEFA A license, which was really cool and I think really valuable up until this day. And then I was trying to get a job. And at first it was difficult because I couldn't find one in the academies I was applying for. So I did a year of voluntary work with my own amateur team because I wanted to gain some experience and see how players respond to me as a coach, and everything that I learned, put it to practice. And then from there on, all of a sudden, I came in contact with FC Utrecht, and then I joined them. And that is almost 9 years from now. So it's been quite the journey. Moved up the ranks, got to know Bas, worked together for a couple of years at the first team, which we will also dive into, I guess. And now, since a year and a half, I'm the head of physical performance for the first team.
Awesome. Baz, I have to start by, first of all, before we get into your background, thanking you for everything you've done on the lead up to the event. because I'm sure we'll get into it in a little bit. But yeah, you've put some real hard work in behind the scenes over there to make it happen. So I've got a thank you to start with before we kick things off. But also, mate, let's do the same. Let's go through your background, but also the sort of transition, because I know within the club you've been in different roles. So give us a bit of an idea how that's worked.
Well, first of all, no thanks, Ben. It's a pleasure to having you or having the Football Fitness Federation here. It was also one of the things we had here when Jeroen was here. Jeroen Peters was here also. That it was one of our main things on the list as well to get you over here. So that's working. Hopefully, Jeroen will also be here next Tuesday. So no thanks, and we're looking forward to get you over here and make the event successful. For me, I did the sports academy. I have a long way of learning sports academy. Then I went for physiotherapy as a bachelor. Here's it's also here in Utrecht. Then was working in practice 2 years. Combining that, also working with a lot of amateur football clubs in the region here, so mainly with the same goal as Reiner has. So flight hours and just get experience to get the jump into professional soccer. So one of the things on the list as well was doing a master's. So I did my master's in sports physiotherapy also here in Utrecht. And then after that, I got the chance to fly over to Cape Town to do an individual project with IS Cape Town and in particular one player as well. And then I know it for quite sure that I need to jump on to professional football. This was the moment. So then afterwards, after that period in that summer, I joined FC Utrecht. Reiner was here already. Jeroen was here on board. So it was nice. So 3.5 season with the first team, the COVID season, a lot of head coaches passing by, a lot of players passing by, and then after 3.5 season, I chose to, I wouldn't say do a step back, but choose to another position within the club. So as a head of performance of the academy, which I'm responsible for the under 23s, who was also playing at the highest level or the second highest level in the Netherlands, and then all the youth teams. Responsible for the medical part, the physical part, the nutrition, and then, one of the things the last 3.5 season is also building, and structure and building a team around that. So also the data science is now one of the lines within the club. So that's a little bit the journey so far for me.
Brilliant. I appreciate that, lads.
That he was the brain behind the event. He is also the brain behind a lot of processes within the academy side. Really structured guy.
I was going to ask you, Rainer, so how much, and Yanni as well, how much does it help having someone like Baz with his experience, but also knowing the first team side so well, because he's been in that position in the academy role for you in your roles now?
Well, to be honest, I think it's invaluable for a club, and it's always good to have people in place which you can promote up to new positions. Like Bas said, it's not necessarily a step down, but you just get into a new position within the club. And obviously he knows the way we worked, and we've had quite a journey together in the 3.5 years we were together at the first team. But I think it was quite a challenge to get things going on the academy side. And yeah, he knew where the players needed to go towards, where they need to work towards. And yeah, we have, I wouldn't say daily contact, but we have a lot of contact with each other to just see and where we can help and where he can lay the foundation for youth players to move up through the teams all the way up to the first team. And I think more and more we see that the youngsters are able to catch up with the first team players, at least on a physical level, which is really good, because then we can talk football, and that ultimately is what the coaches want.
Yeah. Just to add on this shortly is I have the comparison to other clubs, how it's working there, and what's like Rainer said, inavailable is that you have a good communication between academy and first team to to make the transition between from academy to first team for youth players as smooth as possible. And it works perfectly here. Not even from my side is GPS data and communication with physical coaches over there, in the sense of, yeah, we have a good cooperation between each other. The gap is close, and I know it from other clubs in Belgium, mostly, that the gap is so huge that usually just the biggest names are coming through from the academy to the first team, and not those maybe with the best performance itself. So you need nice guys also in the academy to have good cooperation with the guys in the first team, to make these things easier. And this is the case here at the moment, especially because Rainer and Bas know each other for so long, and are Dutchies, so they can speak Dutch with each other. That's also important. No, but that makes it super easy and fluent here within FC Utrecht.
Well, comparing then to wrap up the question maybe a little bit, like 3 years ago, we had the first podcast with me. Then I just started in this new position, and that's what Rainer also said. It's more like a top-down approach for the last 3 years. So the route to professional soccer within our club is quite unique, because the second team, the under-23s, are also playing at the second highest level of the Netherlands. So that means we have a good backup of players who are also playing at professional level to get experience with the demands of the game and also the resistance of professional soccer. So also with the youth teams, they're all playing at the highest level of the Netherlands. So looking at football technical part from under 11 to under 19s, you always play every weekend against the top clubs in the Netherlands. Then you go from academy player to professional football player, and it's not like a jump from academy to the first team, but we have a step in between that. So again, you have from that part, from under 19s to under 23s.
Coaches, I know you don't have time to network. The season is a busy time, and I know you're in preparation for your next game, but you know the value in your network and networking within football. If you don't have time to network, do this instead. Sign up to the Football Fitness online community. The community is home to hundreds of practitioners based right around the world. As a member, you get access to the very best football fitness content from practitioners like Jerome Peters, Dr. Ben Rosenblatt, and many others. You'll be invited into our members only WhatsApp group, which allows you to participate in regular discussions and share any challenges that you face within your role. You also get discount from some of our partner companies, discount to football fitness events, and early insights into job opportunities within the game. The good news is you can sign up today for free. Sign up to our 30-day free trial.
We see there a little bit this, I wouldn't say the problems, we see the same challenges with the players to get used to the demands of the game a level higher. So from under 90s to under 23s, they normally have like 2 to 3 seasons to get there. And if you're a talented football player, then it's still also about the physical part or on the mental part to get to the first team, sitting on the bench, then playing the day after with the under 23s, an away game on the south of the Netherlands. That's also quite difficult, but that's also good for them. And that's the same route for the under 23s to the first team. So on that part, I know what's happening at the highest level within the club. And it was like a top-down approach. And after 3 years, I can say, we are now with the under 12, under 11 to have their structure on what we are doing on the pitch, what we are doing in the gym, what we are doing with nutrition, how we can use the data to get step by step to the first team. And then the other challenge is, of course, that the first team is training on the other side of the city. So it's not that we have physical contact every day. So there's always some distance, physical distance, I would say, every day. So that means, we need to stay in contact, and we also need to have the same structure, because that talks easier also if it's by phone or by mail or by anything without physical, that helps. So that's the route so far.
Logistically, sometimes it's difficult, but I would say as Yanni said, if you have good people and people who want to work together and communicate well, that's probably where the biggest benefit lies. And then we also have to give credit to the coaching staff at the moment. Like from the first team, we have someone who joined the coaching staff who was academy coach up until last season. And if you see the amount of work he puts in to get all of the programs in place for the guys, when are their days off, when do they play, what amount of minutes can they play? Yeah, he talks about those kind of things with us. But also when they play the game with the under 23s, he collects video images and sits down with the players, so they really feel that there's a developmental plan for them in place in order to get to hopefully first team Utrecht.
Or at least somebody cares. Somebody
Yeah.
cares about them.
Yeah.
It's a really important point, isn't it? Because we speak about a lot of clubs having academy and first team on same sites or at least close together because they can have a lot of these collaborative sort of conversations. And I guess with you guys, because Rainer, Baz, you have such a good relationship, I guess that the location can be a challenge, but at the same time, because your relationship's so good, that also makes it a lot easier than if it was not so great. Or maybe it wasn't Baz in that position and it made it a lot harder, Rainer. Is that fair?
Yeah, you can say that, but I also don't want to talk not so well about Bas's predecessor because he was also a great guy.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously it helps. If he just has 10 seconds of entering the room that I'm in, he can read my level of whatever. So yes, that does help. And sometimes if maybe I make an honest mistake, he is able to acknowledge and okay, can happen, we're human beings, we all make mistakes. Yes, that does help. And I think that goes for all of us in the performance staff, that everyone wants to work together, just trying to do the best for the players, because ultimately that's what we're here for.
Yanni, we speak to a lot of coaches going into new positions, and I always find it interesting to see the approach that the coach takes going into a new position. So some go quite aggressive, I suppose, and they try to put their way of working over quite quickly. Some will sit back and maybe take a while to make changes. What was your approach going into your role?
Well, first of all, in first team settings, everything needs to be quick, fast, back in place. Everything needs to run smoothly. Also for, especially here, because the coaching staff stayed in place. So I was the only one coming new, more or less. So you can't change that much in the way you would like to change, maybe, or to take from other ideas from other clubs you had there over here. Some things are already good and in place. You don't need to change. So it's half, I would say. Some things where you see you want to stand out, and obviously for my personal role, it's a new position a bit. So I'm not the only one anymore. I'm not the one who's doing everything a little bit, but now I'm really focusing more on helping Rainer in the gym and on the pitch as performance coach. And on the other side, I'm really focusing more on the data and sports science things. So on both ends, I need to put my stamp on, but in a way that everything flows normal. The daily tasks are ticked, everything works, and mostly for such bigger clubs, let's say, FC Utrecht is a bigger club in the Netherlands, then a lot of things are already good in place and you just need to do a bit fine tuning or to just do it in your way because I know that I do some things different, but maybe not better or worse. So you just do it in your way, and that might help also to get a bit out of the monotony of somebody else having worked here, of doing it every time in the same manner. So that's the way how I tackled this challenge now, to go first in another country. So that's I told it Rainer also. It's not so easy than I thought in the beginning, because I leave all my friends behind. They are 3 hours away. So they're all working full time, so I'm not having someone here. my girlfriend is a long distance relationship, so it's not super easy. You need to do insurances and all the things, electricity, new apartment, and so on and so on. And I just knew it from other coaches I worked with, and now I experience it myself. So that's quite a challenge. And at the same time, you need to work in first team players environment where everybody is demanding a lot from you. So yeah, that's a bit just working, be yourself, working in your way, in your style. If you're confident that you're doing the right things, then I think that's the manner how you should tackle things. Just do your thing as you did it before, because you come in this position not because you were bad or so. You do some good things to be here.
Yeah, it's a great point. Rainer, how's the introduction of Yanni maybe changed your daily responsibilities, or has it changed your daily responsibilities? Has it just helped you in certain ways?
Yeah, 100%. We go a bit further back than just this year. So we were already in contact with each other, got to know each other a bit better, that we shared a lot of things in our way of working and how we see things. So that helped him hopefully transitioning into this role, and also I had full confidence that he would do so. But yeah, I hope he has the feeling that he can contribute with his expertise and his experience that he has, as he can challenge me on every matter that we have on a daily basis, and he does so. So I'm grateful for that, because that also keeps me sharp. But yeah, 100%. Sometimes I don't even have to worry about certain things getting done, which I had to do before, because the first 6 or 7 years, I would say, at Utrecht, I was also in a position that I had to do a bit of everything, because with the former performance staff, we had a couple guys with a medical background, but I was the only one with a sports science background, so to say. So I was taking charge of periodization and all the monitoring and stuff like that. So right now that we can do that with at least two people, yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
That's what I wanted to say, Ben. It's for us also the journey to get the right people on the bus, right? So also in the process, to give the credits to Rainer, Yanni as well, it's not like a reaction that somebody is leaving the team because he's getting promoted to another team, or is leaving the professional soccer and choose his family. And we already have the next ready for that position. Not like it's okay coming in. It's still a process, but we got our names, we got our lists to get them on, and it's a process on this side as well to get the right people on the bus. But it's also with the academy side as well, because yeah, at some certain point we have not the biggest budgets, so we also find talented people who are just coming from schools or just coming from the network, and then we have already the talk before the positions coming free. So that means that after, what I said, after somebody's leaving the position, we already having our names and numbers, and that also helps us. Because of course we have a mission vision, or we have our way of work, but we are open, and that's also hopefully with the podcast, but also with the event, always open to share things, but also to get feedback how we can go better. So that also what Yanni brings, like, yeah, it's a smooth process, but that also is because Yanni is bringing knowledge, but also testing us to get the knowledge and experience and that kind of stuff in, which helps us to get it to higher levels as well. Because yeah, at some sort of certain point, of course, we get what the clubs want. We get into Europe, but that also gives challenges with playing 3 times a week. And again, for the under 23s, that also means more players coming over to the first team to get the numbers to play the training session. But also, if we have this structured year by year, that also means the under 23s also have good needs to go to that same challenge as well. So they also have to go to three games in a week, or just, yeah, we always say English match fixtures, because it's always there busy at your side. But they have,
Especially around Christmas.
yeah.
You're right.
Well, the first time, I guess, that there's only one match on Boxing Day, right?
Yeah, I think it's different this year, isn't it? You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Scheduled. I saw the schedule, yeah.
I didn't know
It's
that.
Manchester, I thought. So,
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
but no, again, if this is for the next 5 years, the structure that we play Europe, and hopefully it will, that also means something for the academy as well. Because if we are only developing our players for playing only Saturday, then they are not ready to perform on this side to play 3 games in a week. So with the under 23 schedule, it's already sometimes English weeks. So they play already at some sort of point in season that kind of numbers. But of course, that helps, and that also, what I said, helps to get the right people on the bus. If we are, I wouldn't say failing forward, but not reacting, but we have everything clear to go further.
Maybe one
100%.
more thing to add, because now it may sound that we only look outside the club, but there's been a couple of people on the medical
Yeah.
side, for instance, who got promoted or went up to the first team from the under 23s, but also Tom, who's also presenting on the event together with Jeroen. He was academy performance coach before, but he's now responsible for the under 23s as their lead performance coach. So there's also a pathway of moving up in the club. And let's say one of us three leaves next season. If you would ask me, I would always look also what you already have in the building.
100%.
Tom started his journey with FC Utrecht, to hang on that, is with an internship like 5 or 6 years ago. So he literally get from under 11, under 12, so up to the under 23s. And I think, well, he's a very talented guy. It's more like the experience, but he will head to the first team in some sort of point in the coming years as well. So that's a great story. Of course, on the physical side, we got a physio who went up to the first team, one physio from the academy to the under 23. So also, of course, what Reiner said, within our club, we are also helping that talented guys and people to move up to the next level as well. And hopefully it will be for FC Utrecht. And on the other side, if it's not for FC Utrecht because of some sort of situation, we try to help them to get in professional soccer, maybe outside of the country or within our network as well. So it's also not only developing players, but also developing people within our organization as well.
Football can seem a very big world, can't it? But it's a very small world at the same time in terms of people knowing people. Yanni, we were just talking about a mutual contact of ours. Like there's people everywhere that will know maybe someone that you're looking to appoint into a position. And essentially that's why we do what we do in terms of the podcast and especially the events, because we've had numerous situations where coaches have come to the events, they've met a coach in maybe one of your positions, and later down the line they've ended up being offered a position at that club. And for us, that's the real value, because if Reiner gets a CV on his desk, that could maybe look the same across 10 different CVs, but to meet the person, see the personality, hear them speak, it adds a different level to that CV, doesn't it, as well? So that's exactly why we do what we do. Just looking ahead now to the event, let's do a little preview of what you're going to cover. So I don't know who wants to start. You can step up and give us a little preview, but just about what things you're sort of going to cover, what people can expect for coming to the event.
Yeah, from my side, what I said, it's the journey to building a structure within the academy with a top-down approach. So what we mentioned before, like I was with the first team, so how did it work with the under 23s, under 19s, and how that would go, how the journey was, the challenges we are facing, the things we are innovated in it. So that's a little bit my part of the story also, because yeah, one of the main goals, of course, is that we get our academy players into the first team. And then last summer, we got an under 70 player, or a 70-year-old player from the academy who is already long in the academy, make his debut for the first team. So that also goes a little bit hand in hand. So that's a little bit my story on the event. And that's where my presentation goes.
Yeah, so we'll dive a little bit more into why we do what we do and what we do, and also try to get people to challenge our way of working. As Bas mentioned numerous times, we are competing in Europe this year, which is not to say a new situation for the club, but it's been a while. So we want to present a little bit the way how we work and also how we monitor our players, just things on how we developed our daily workflow, so to say. And yeah, people can ask questions, and hopefully we'll get better from it as well. So we'll open our doors for you.
Yeah. And then my topic is a bit different because as we spoke now before, is a bit how you would tackle things when you're new in a club. And I now with playing Europa League, there was some opportunities coming up where I thought, okay, that might be the moment to put your stamp on and to find or try something creative, something new. So I'm going to present about the usage of ChatGPT of AI for daily workflow and match preparation. So we had when we're playing against Europa League opponents, we get post-match data, and on the platform of the Europa League, we get match data from all of our opponents from all the matches. And we have access to physical data, to event data, and when downloading these data, I saw that there's so much information in there which I can't process myself with my brain, just to connect the dots and to say, okay, this is a very strong opponent. We just see they're winning 10 times in a row, like Porto now, but what is their weakness? What is the strength? And not only in physical terms, because we can't just look at physical numbers and say they're running or sprinting a lot, so that must be a very strong team. It's not obviously not that easy anymore nowadays to say that in that way. If you just look at physical parameters, GPS or TraCap measured. So I wanna present how I increase context and reading an opponent pre-match and maybe also post-match. From connecting the dots from event data, yellow cards, tackles, ball possession, everything like that, with physical data, which we get from Europa League, all of that, with the help of ChatGPT, of AI then, and to use that tool in a way to prepare the coaching staff, not ourselves really much, because we can't change that much. We can just prepare the players and the coaching staff to communicate to the players maybe that this is a high sprinting opponent, which they do a lot of fouls in the midfield. They open gaps in defending third, for example. But in the other way around, we are strong with playing in this patterns and key positions. And in that way, I create a report, and I want to show and display the report. How I communicate with the coaches about what might be the strongest points of the opponent Europa League wise and the weakest points, and where can we maybe change the video meeting or the 1-versus-1 meeting with players to inform them with these information, then more or less. That's what I want to talk about.
Brilliant. I think the real benefit of this event is that we've got such a range of topics that are going to be covered. Baz, have you got a little preview on Tom's?
Yeah, well, that's true, because we just introduced Tom already a little bit, because also Tom and Jeroen will also be presenting on felicity-based training. Jeroen, to introduce Jeroen Rietveld, who is working for the University of Utrecht and also doing strength and conditioning with the Japanese ice skating team, has a lot of experience in Olympic seasons and schedules and training sessions around ice skating, but also, after all, in sports science as well. We collaborate together on the felicity-based training and more with the University of Utrecht. That's also something we are, what I said, at some sort of point with the budgets and be creative and find and connecting with smart people as well. So Jeroen is on Felicity-based training in the Netherlands, but also maybe in Europe. I think a big name. We are working together for quite a time now, so we're looking forward to that. And he will present with Tom. We just introduced Tom. He's now with the under-23s as a physical trainer, physical coach. He had the implementation of Felicity-based training with the under-17s, under-19s last season, and also doing it with the under-23s at the moment. And it's a great tool also for the club, but also maybe for others to see how to implement that during the season in Europe, or with the schedules you have, that you still can do a way of strength training without muscle soreness or problems on the pitch. So that's the topic they will head on. It will be theory, but also on the practical side as well. So we also have to go into the gym as well and heading their numbers with Felicity-based training. So that's good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, we've had practitioners sign up first team academy already, and this is why this event's going to be so great, because regardless of the age groups that you're working with, you're going to take plenty away, and also you can see how the guys work together collaboratively across the different roles too at the club. So yeah, I encourage people to, if you can attend, try and attend. We've got coaches from clubs right across the Netherlands. We've got clubs from Belgium, and I know we're getting some coaches over from Norway as well. So it's really exciting, and yeah, I can't wait to come over, guys.
Sounds good.
Looking forward, Ben. We're gonna make it a big one.
What's that one?
We're gonna make it a big one.
We definitely are. We definitely are. Now, all I'd say to people is, if you've not got your tickets already, they are still available. They'll be available right up to the event as well. So you can go and check them out on our website, and I'll put all the links and everything in the show notes. And if you can't make it to the event, we will be recording the presentations as well, so they will be available afterwards. So, well, guys, I really appreciate you doing this. Hopefully it's give people a real insight into the way that, not just for the event, but the way that you guys work together and what goes on at the club. And then obviously we can get into more details next week.
See you then.
Sounds like a plan.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. See you then.